Jordan's got some stuff on her mind. We're going to mic her up. We've been doing this mentorship thing for a solid year now, and it's crazy how much we just learn just from talking to so many people. We pick up a lot of little tidbits. She's working with somebody right now in the collective. Is that what you're talking about, or something different?
And that is what I'm talking about, yeah.
Let me set up a nudie angle.
Is it my turn? Am I a go?
You are clear for liftoff.
Okay, so the number of people I talk to that have no idea what their profit margins are, and then they get our cost per unit calculator, and they're like, holy crap, my cost of goods is 45%, 50%, when it should be 20% or 30%. You pretty much cannot make a profit. You're essentially losing money if your profit margins or your cost of goods, the produce it takes to make the juice, is 50%. You're almost paying your customer to drink that juice when you take into account labor, equipment, rent, taxes, all of it. So if you do not know your profit margin, you are essentially wasting time. Like, if you don't know your profit margins,
You should not be serving
you
products.
shouldn't be selling juice, correct? Because unless you consider yourself in the trial phase of I'm okay with making juice for free or paying my customers to drink my juice to get feedback. But even then, if you're putting a product out there and putting a price on it and saying this is my juice and this is what I charge, you're setting a standard and an expectation for your customer. And then if 2 months from now you're like, oh, just kidding guys, pricing is this, it's just not the best thing to do to your customers. So almost the first step you should be doing when you're opening your juice bar is getting either our cost per unit calculator, or you thoroughly know how to price out your juices in each one of them, and you have a system for when produce changes and a case of apples goes from $40 to $65, and you can quickly go in and adjust your pricing as necessary, because you're wasting your time, and you're going to get so discouraged because you're not going to see traction. You're not going to see income come in and stay in your bank. You're not going to be able to reinvest in your business. You're going to feel so discouraged. And then also the mental toll of when you don't know your numbers and you're just working kind of haphazardly, and you're just like, whoa, I'm just going to keep moving, and it'll work out. That subconsciously causes so much stress on your brain, because in the back of your mind, you know that you don't know your numbers.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just hope I'm making a profit. I'm doing what the local bars are doing. I'm looking at my competition. I'm charging what everyone charges. And here's a mistake. You might think that you might be charging what everyone charges, but you might have a produce supplier that's charging you out the wazoo, and you don't know it. You might think like, this is just normal. These are normal prices. Maybe they're not normal, and you're their only customer. You know what I mean? You don't really know anything until you look at your numbers and see my profit margins, my cost of goods for each and every juice is 20 to 25% or less. And I can confidently make and serve each juice and know every juice that goes out the door, I'm making a profit on that juice, which then allows me to reinvest in my business and continue to grow and make better products and serve more of our community. So it's sad because we put so much work into our juice bars, right? We put so much work into this, and if we don't know the basics of business, there has to be a good combo of like, I'm emotional about my business and I love it, and my why fuels my work. But also, this is a business and we have to make a profit, or we're going to go out of business in a year, and I'm going to take a big mental hit on all of this. So you got to put on your business brain, and you got to put on your emotional brain, and you got to do both, because the emotional brain allows you to connect with your customers more than anyone else will. It makes you stand out from a franchise. A franchise doesn't have the emotional brain. They're just a franchise with pretty marketing. A locally owned juice bar like all of us, we connect with our customers in a different kind of way, and we serve them better because so. But a franchise got that business brain, and they know their cost of goods. They know all of their categories and their percentages and what things are supposed to look like. So don't let that be the part that ruins it for us, you know? You just gotta put on your big girl pants and you gotta say, I'm gonna know my numbers. And the other thing is I talk to so many people and they're like, oh, this hurts. Like when they actually start looking at their numbers, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not making a profit. This really hurts. This is hard, you know? You're gonna have a million times in your business where you say, this is really hard and I wanna give up. It's that gut feeling of defeat. Of like, I can't do this. I'm not equipped. I don't know enough. It's a sucky feeling of this dark, gloomy cloud of like where this is just going to fail. But you just got to say, no, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to step up to the plate. And instead of being like, my cost of goods is 50%, this isn't going to work, say, let's make it work. Let's look at the numbers. Let's see what can we remove? What can we add? Let's look at our liquid bases. Which one's more affordable? You have to be willing to pivot and step up to the plate and say, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do it and I can do it. And that's when you win, is you look at the problem and you say, instead of being like, oh, knocked down, we're done. We're like, oh, stand up, stronger, let's fix it and move on. So it's just, it's kind of heartbreaking because all these people, they're not making a profit and they don't know their numbers and they're just wishing and hoping they're going to win.
Yeah. You can't run a business like that.
No,
you have to run your business. Your business does not run you. We've talked about that so many times.
Yes.
Just from like a juicer's standpoint, there has been a lot of freedom in creating recipes, and just since we've developed the Know Your Numbers calculator, I have more freedom because I am the one making this juice. I am the one putting these products out. So that all kind of falls on me if we're not checking in regularly. But just having the freedom to know, like, pineapples are cheap right now. Pumpkin seed milk is priced really well. We can up things, play with things. I mean, we're constantly messing around with things, and it just provides so much freedom knowing that our numbers are solid, and whatever we put out, whatever daily special, it's going to lead to cash flow coming back into our business.
It goes back to the phrase, knowledge is power. When you know what things are, you can make savvy business moves. When you know pineapples this week were dirt cheap, you can make a ton of pineapple specials, and every pineapple juice that's going out the door, you're making crazy good profit on.
Which we did this week.
Yes.
Real example.
Really look at your numbers and study them and know when a deal comes in, we're going to capitalize on that deal. You don't know that if you're just being a robot operating boop, boop, boop. We always do the same thing. We make it. We hope this. No, become a savvy business person. Knowledge is power. Know your numbers. Know every part of your business, the ins and the outs. And with that, you'll be able to make all these little wins, okay? It's a bunch of little wins that collectively make a huge win. That's when, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, you look and you go, that was a great freaking month. That was a great year. We freaking did it. You did it because you were intentional. You had knowledge and you looked at every single decision and you said, we're going to capitalize on every decision and make the right one. When packaging goes on sale, you buy it. When this goes on sale, you do it. When you see that the weather's nice, you run a deal, you look at your numbers and you say, you know what? We got some wiggle room on shark juice. Let's run a deal, $1 off. And that brings in a ton of customer. You just got to get really savvy. And it's a fun game to play. When you look at it instead of, I will say also that you can
chess game.
You can only have fun like that. You can only be savvy and it's this. When you have margin in your business and mental margin to be able to tackle and have fun, if you're so stressed out that you took out debt and this and that, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I feel so much pressure and I'm stressed, you don't get to have the little fun because you're so stressed about this and this and this.
You got to pay rent this month.
Yes. Set things up so you have margin in life, so that you have financial margin, so you can, when something goes on sale and you can buy in bulk, you have that financial margin to capitalize on that deal. When things this and this and this, you create margin in your life so that you can do the fun little things. It's the difference between create time margin so that when you have an opportunity to do this today, you have the time margin to fit it in. Just set things up so you got some wiggle room to have some fun and to not to be so stressed because you're good. But you do create margin by being focused on those little things. So it's like a boom, 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 boom thing. Okay.
That was our podcast moment.
Basically, the resources we talked about, they're linked below. We're here to help you guys. So y'all can learn from our mistakes because we've been there. That's what this whole thing is about. What we do is we've been there and we constantly think, man, it would have been nice for somebody to kind of guide us and lead us. So we provide that for y'all, and we love doing it because we just want to see everyone win. The more juice flow in, the better. It helps us all as an industry, and it's a lot of fun.